7 a.m. on this Thursday morning. Are you ready? Hurricane Iselle makes landfall on the Big Island in the next several hours. We got a live look at Hilo Bay.
That's right. The storm has already forced the closure of schools in Hawaii County and Maui County as well. And Hurricane Julio is right behind it.
Hey guys, I want to just show you the track of the storm, the intensity of the storm with the latest forecast that was updated by the Central Pacific Hurricane Center at 5 o'clock this morning, about an hour ago. The double threat, and we'll start with the first of the 1-2 punch, and that is the storm called Iselle. You can see it right there tracking toward the Big Island. The latest fix from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center as a Category 1 has it about 306 miles east-southeast of Hilo, Hawaii. Winds sustained at 80, gusts to about 98 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 15.
Oahu is also bracing for Iselle, and we are expecting strong wind and heavy rain here as well.
Ramsey Wharton tells us about the city's plans live at the Emergency Operations Center. Morning, Rams.
Good morning, you guys. Well, Honolulu County preparing for the worst, and they're going to be watching very closely what happens to Iselle as she comes towards the Big Island, a direct impact there. And we are in that 8 to 12 hour window for impact today there. And at 8 a.m. here in the EOC, Emergency Operations Center for the Department of Emergency Management, they're going to be powwowing with the state and looking very closely. We have many lessons that we can learn from the impact of Iselle on the Big Island.
Take a look at this incredible time-lapse footage as the storm steadily approached East Hawaii, bringing in clouds and showers to Hilo. This was a view looking out on Hilo Bay as the outer bands rolled in. The picture started off calm, but things quickly got blustery and wet.
You know, even before the wind and rain, the surf picked up big time today all along the windward coast. This was in Keaukaha, just south of Hilo. The waves were washing over the beachside parking lots, up into the bushes. It's rough and ugly. The storm surge is expected to add another 1 or 2 feet of water on top of those high waves in the next few hours as Iselle makes landfall. And good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for this special 2-hour simulcast on KGMB, KHNL, and K5. I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Stephanie Lum. We are tracking the double threat of Hurricane Iselle and Julio right behind it.
Now to our team of reporters covering the double threat tonight. We'll have live reports from the Big Island, Maui, and here on Oahu. We're standing by at both the state civil defense and the city's Emergency Operations Center.
We'll check in at the National Weather Service and Honolulu International Airport, but first, let's go straight to Tanya Joaquin at the Hawaii State Civil Defense. Tanya.
Well, Stephanie and Keahi, we are inside Diamond Head Crater, where a lot of people plan to huddle all night. In fact, I ran into the Governor Abercrombie, and he said all bets are off. They're preparing for an all-nighter. We're going to keep you updated all night long as we get information. Let's start with meteorologist Mike Canton from the National Weather Service. We're also going to hear from the governor in just a bit. Mike.
Yeah, we're to get the latest advisory just issued now for Hurricane Iselle. Still a hurricane, about 75 miles an hour, so some slight weakening.
Right now, about 70 miles away, the center of Iselle. It's really hard to look at where the center is because looking at the image, it's looking like it's collapsing, but still a lot of steam with this, a lot of hurricane strength winds. And remember, within the hurricane strength winds from the center of the storm, 35 miles out. So we're not there yet. So we're still seeing the center offshore. Right behind it, we have Julio. So that is a major hurricane, Category 3. We'll have to worry about that later down the road. But right now, it's all about Iselle for tonight. So buckle down on the Big Island. You're going to take the brunt of what is to come with Iselle on the way.
Live at the Hilo Bayfront, looking wet, Ben.
Yes, it has been a very wet evening so far. The wind started picking up about, I'd say about an hour and a half ago, and then the rain maybe a little bit after that. It's not particularly heavy at the moment, the rain, but it is pretty consistent now, and so are the winds. The winds maybe have backed off a little bit from where they were just a little while ago. Here at the corner of Furno Avenue and Furno Lane and Kamehameha Avenue, we've had some tree limbs coming down. We also have had a bit more rain. We had reports of spray coming across the Bayfront Highway from Hilo Bay itself. The winds are coming toward us from the bay, and so we're definitely on the lookout for any debris whatsoever.
Throughout the night, we have been keeping track of breaking news and also power outages.
That's right, and right now we want to go back live to Tim Sakahara, who's at McKinley High School, where the shelter is about to open with a whole bunch of people waiting to get in. Tim.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm running back because they just opened the door right now and I was trying to listen in on some of the instructions. Take a live look right now. It's happening right now. There are 2 American Red Cross volunteers kind of giving instructions. What they're saying is from screen left, all the families, which there are a lot of, and I would estimate right now there's well over 100 people because even the people in the shot right now isn't the whole picture. There's a lot of other people hanging out at tables over here as well.
All right, we're taking a live look at the Wailuku River out there and on the Big Island. And just a reminder, we are simulcasting on KGMB, KHNL, and K5.
Yeah, we say Wailuku, you think Maui when you
Right.
hear Wailuku. No, this is the Big Island. This is that stream that comes from the Rainbow Falls down through Hilo Town.
Right.
Amazing images this morning.
That is really coming down. Just huge amounts of water that have fallen on the Big Island in the last 12 hours. You know, the numbers we showed you, I'll show you again because they're so impressive. Nearly a foot of rain in some spots. Hakalau with 10 plus, up along the Saddle Road 11 plus, and it's not done yet. There's more rain falling on the Big Island. You can see it right there. And it's the storm Iselle that's creating all of this moisture. Not just the Big Island. We can scoot up and see that Maui has also started to get some very heavy showers along the windward side.
Iselle, as Dan showed you, has been pounding pretty much all over the state. But specifically, we'll want to take a look at the Big Island and what happened overnight.
Yeah, even though it's been downgraded to a tropical storm, it's caused a lot of problems there. Ben Gutierrez is live with some incredible images of the Wailuku River. I mean, amazing stuff back there, and it just shows how much rain fell overnight, right, Ben?
Yeah, we've had massive amounts of rainfall here, maybe not in the Hilo area itself where we are, but upslope, and that's where all this water is coming from. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is the Wailuku River, which is a lot quieter than this under normal circumstances. It's the same river that feeds the Rainbow Falls and Boiling Pots, and as you can see, it is absolutely raging this morning because of all of the rainfall that was dumped upslope as well from what was Hurricane Iselle, now Tropical Storm Iselle. This is a lot of water, and all of this is going into Hilo Bay, so there's going to be a lot of groundwater in the meantime. So very dangerous situation, but fortunately people are staying out and are obviously just more inclined to look than anything else.
Encouraging you to download the Weather Now app. Here's another one that you should have, and that is the Hawaii News Now app. This one for iPad. You can get it for your iPhone, your Android, your tablet. You can see that it opens up with the top stories of the day. Of course, it's being dominated by Hurricane, now Tropical Storm Iselle, and all the damage it's done. The Weather Now app is great for tracking the storms, but if you don't want to know about the impact of the storms, the news created by this weather, go to the Hawaii News Now app. So see, it opens up to all of the stories, the top stories of the day. The menu, you see those 3 lines up there? Just touch those 3 lines, and that will open up another menu for you. And there's all kinds of things here. I mean, you've got sports and the sunrise special sections. You can watch the streaming. You can launch it from here. But we want to focus on the Hurricane Center. I'm going to touch that, and you can see the next long list of things that you can get. It's incredible. I mean, we got every storm story from the beginning of this situation up there with the storm stories right there. You can get the interactive radar, Central Pacific Hurricane Center, the satellite, the loop for here locally. The evacuation centers are listed. It's all there. There's even a slideshow. You can see the slides, the pictures that all of our viewers have sent in. So it's the Weather Now app, of course, but the Hawaii News Now app is another thing you need to download to have the information that you need right there in the palm of your hand.
Good evening. There is a lot to cover tonight, but the big headline, above all else, no reports of major injuries.
And this just in, tomorrow's election is still on statewide, but officials have just announced 2 polling sites in Puna will be closed. Voters there will mail in their ballots later. All other polling places will be open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We're going to go up to Waimea next for another live report.
That's where Mileka Lincoln is to show us the damage caused by the high winds there. Mileka.
Aloha, Stephanie Keahi. Yes, you talk about that aloha spirit, and it is definitely alive and well in this Waimea neighborhood as well. The neighbors here have actually been without power since just before midnight last night, but we're still seeing them walking around with smiles on their faces and an understanding for the Helco crew, who you can see just over my shoulder, that has been hard at work for several hours here trying to restore electricity. They're hoping to actually have everything up and running here in the next hour or two. Fingers crossed. There were about 30,000 people across Hawaii Island last night who were without power, and those outages again are a result of those downed power lines, along with several trees that came down in the last 24 hours. And one of them is this massive ironwood tree, which you can see here behind me, that fell into the driveway of this Waimea home. We're on Opello Road, and that's where you can see this again, ironwood tree. They estimated it's about 60 feet tall, came crashing down. It pulled out of it a 30-foot root ball circumference, and it then went across this home's driveway, but miraculously didn't manage to crash into any of the structures, only landing on top of the SUV that was parked here.
We are in Lower Puna, which the Attorney General was talking about, one of the hardest hit areas, and it definitely has been when Iselle approached East Hawaii Island last night and early this morning. Now, for much of the day, this has been pretty much the scene. Neighbors, residents, and in some cases, total strangers have been coming together to try to help out. Now, up and down Kahakai Boulevard, where we are in the Hawaiian Beaches subdivision, these downed trees are everywhere. A lot of those trees coming down on power lines, and so much of this area is without electricity. It also cut off several neighborhoods and threatened to cut off the subdivision itself. But some ad hoc cleaning crews, including this one made up of area residents, took things into their own hands and got the roadway cleared up enough for vehicles to pass through.
A lot of wind, a lot of rain. Then the rain stopped and it had a lot of wind. You know, trees were cracking.
We got to clear the way. My mom's on oxygen. She's not doing good. And we need to open this up in case I need to call ambulance.
Off to Maui now, where we find our Chelsea Davis.
She spent the day on Ulu Palakua Ranch, where more trees, hundreds of years old, fell over by the powerful gusts. Chelsea.
Yeah, Ke'ahi, Steph, here in Ulupalakua, residents and county crews are working around the clock trying to repair the damages Iselle left behind her. Take a look at some of this mess. Now, this is just the beginning. You can see toppled trees, just one after another, lining the entire way to Ulupalakua town. The farther you go in, the worse it gets. We saw everything from uprooted trees to mangled sheds and tree trunks literally split in half. Beautiful eucalyptus trees that's been here for hundreds of years, as you mentioned. Roofs, buildings, sheds, all gone now. Groundskeeping crews and county crews wasted no time in cleaning the mess up, though. But people who live here are absolutely stunned. They said every hour they would hear a huge gust of wind, and one by one see giant trees come crashing down, rattling the ground like thunder.
As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, we have given the all clear for the city and county of Honolulu, meaning that we can start returning back to our normal lives on this island. The good news is we've dodged a bullet. We prepared for the worst and hoped for the best.
Well, Honolulu's mayor gave the all clear for Oahu at 3 this afternoon, and he also announced several critical city services are back in business.
For more on that, we go to the Fosse building tonight. Keoki Kerr joins us live from the city's Emergency Management Operations Center. Keoki.
That's right, and city buses are getting back on their regular schedules, as well as handy vans tonight. Trash pickup is going to resume tomorrow, this all as the city of Honolulu gets back to regular business because of the storm. Now, I'm here in the call center down in the Emergency Operating Center. For the first time during this event, they put this call center into effect. The special number is still up for another half hour or so, and you can call them with all of your questions about the city's services that are now resuming now that this storm has passed us here. They've been getting lots of calls in the last couple of hours since the mayor announced the all clear, especially about city buses, trash pickup, and parks. The big trash pickup question is, hey, you skipped my trash pickup today. Does that mean you're going to come tomorrow? The answer is no. You got skipped altogether. You're going to have to wait until your next regularly scheduled pickup, or you can take your trash tomorrow or Sunday to any of the 6 convenience centers that are on Oahu.
Thanks to our viewers all around the state. A big part of this storm coverage, they're the ones reporting where the damage is. Tanya.
They really joined our team. Of course, we can't have our crews all across the state. We've been monitoring all the viewer video coming in, and these real-time accounts of Iselle's impact, that hashtag Iselle, on all of our Hawaii News Now platforms have been enhancing our coverage. I want to show you some of the most dramatic pieces of video and images coming in. Check check this out right here. You can see this is one of the homes in Paho. We've been seeing all those downed trees. Well, this one was a very scary scenario. There's actually a mother and a 3-year-old child trapped inside because of all that debris. We're happy to report they are out safely. Now, extreme storm chaser meteorologist Reed Timmer has video. Let's go to that so we can show you. This is also happening in the area hardest hit when Iselle made landfall. Some of the outer bands really lashed the island last night. And you can see, look at this, a lot of the structures could not withstand those sheer force winds that came along.